Then I got home and everything just went to shit. Everything just went to shit. The child would not sleep. Jordan, welcome in. Oliver,
I had a pretty good morning.
That's good. You feeling better this week?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's good. Welcome in, Druid, by the way.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. My brain is currently telling me after lunch that it wants me to take a nap, and I'm not listening, but but I am chugging now. I spent the morning looking at just a whole bunch of video games I've never played before, and kind of trying to coalesce a design philosophy.
Interesting. I've been struggling a little bit with that. So when I started making the game I'm making now, I very much had this idea of like, oh, it's these two things, but with this new element. I wanted to like, oh, people can take over the towers and it'll be really fun. I'm like, and as I've been developing it, I'm just like, wait, why am I doing this? Like, what about that I think was so interesting? Because as I'm building it, it doesn't seem interesting anymore. like I don't have the... Which I think is fine. Like, that's part of the design process.
Yeah.
Like, jumping in, like, finding
totally.
the things that are actually interesting and revamping them. But, yeah. It's been kind of interesting. It would be more interesting if it was a tower defense game that you could then take over a tower. But since it's a tower defense game with heroes, it's like, that you are the tower. Like, taking over a tower is just making yourself a hero, which I'm doing all the time. So it's like, I don't need to do that. So.
Yep.
No Name, welcome in. Technomancer, welcome in. Art time. It is art time. I've been struggling a little bit because I've been trying to design the characters for this game, and I keep doing things like I just did the archer, and I accidentally made a little parakeet. And then when I get in game, I'm like, this would be way better if the head was way bigger, and all of my stuff turns into little tiny bobbleheads.
Which, there's nothing wrong with that. I just assume that that's a funny realization because that wasn't what you had intended.
All of my concept designs are really like tall and lanky and kind of scraggly. And then by the time I like really get finished, I'm like, no, this would be a better design if I did this or that or this. They end up being like little chibi monsters. And it's just like, well, maybe that's okay.
That's very funny. I'm having like the exact opposite problem.
Yeah.
Which, given the way we both draw things, it's kind of weird that that's how it's ended up.
It's like, I think, yeah, because like this is rugby, right? But like I can't design this straight up. I have to design this first and then transfer it into this. I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. I've been trying to design knights for my game thing, and they all come out looking like castle crashers, and it's driving me fucking insane.
That's funny. My mic is working. That's good. I had wanted to get the game out to a bunch of people to have them play it and test it. And I got some feedback, which was really good. And so I went back through, and I started with like, oh, you start the game, and a wave happens, and then after a minute, another wave happens, and another wave happens. And then I'm like, that's boring. Let's do it like, we'll make a wave that consists of like 3 mini rounds, right? Like this guy, a couple big guys, and then like a mini boss. And then we'll give you a pause, and when you're ready, push the start button and start the next wave. The only problem is to make this happen, like, I went from a script that was like, look at this list of creatures and spawn it, to like, look at this list of places that within each place there is a list of creatures, and within each list of creatures there's a place in like how they spawn and where they spawn. And so now I have to like make this huge thing for every wave. And I'm like, oh no, I've overcomplicated
ballooned
this.
completely out of control.
Yeah, so I think I have to go back and figure out how to clean that up before I try to pass it out again.
I found a free-to-play tower defense game. It's when we're done with this, remind me, and I'll share it with you. I want you to play some of it. I think it might help because it's I played it yesterday evening for hours, and before that, like, kind of what I was thinking about game design is it's really important for things to be simple. And after I played that game, I changed my mind completely because I don't think it's about simplicity. I think it's about readability. But I do think the game is simple. I guess abbreviated is a better word, in a way that I think is really, really clean and really nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share it with you because I think it might help you organize things.
There is a kind of a weird dichotomy that people bump into from time to time that I think you just did about the difference between something being simple and something being elegant. Like Castle Crashers is a very simple game.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have a lot of moving parts. Something like Hollow Knight is very complex but very elegant, right? And they have a very similar feel, but one is vastly more complicated than the other, and so it's definitely it's interesting to find those kind of things. I like that. Give me your honest opinion. What Peter Pettigrew and Dolores Umbridge got redemption arcs? Yeah, no, they don't need it. Sometimes villains can just be villains, you know. What are we drawing? Right now we're drawing just warm-ups. So I've got a little rugby here. Druid looks like drawn. Just a guy?
Just a guy.
Just a guy.
Just a guy.
I'm about ready to roll. Yeah, sometimes villains can just be villainous. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's something that I think there's this...
And I think it's important for your story to contain both redeemable and irredeemable characters.
Yeah, and the other side of that is like there's a thought of like, I think context is very important, but not all context justifies evil actions.
Yeah, totally.
There's too many things where, like, oh, this evil person's actually a really good guy. It's like, no, they made a bad decision and they're kind of a fucked up person. Like, that happens. That's a thing. That's a thing that happens.
Yeah. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah. Zuko gets a redemption arc, and Zuko earns his redemption.
Right. Azula does not.
Azula, no, she does not get a redemption arc. You do feel sorry for her, and you begin to understand her at the end because you see that she has been abused just as much as Zuko. It's just that she was also Ozai's favorite.
Yep. Zuko made a choice. Azula did.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly the importance of a redemption arc, right? Versus, like I said, context. Yeah. Context is always important. We needed to see Zuko and Azula both basically just getting shit on their whole lives.
Yeah.
Because that makes Zuko's choice that much different. It's like, yeah, Zuko could have just not decided to help the Avatar, right? He could have just stayed with the status quo.
Totally. And part of the cool thing is that because you have context for Azula, you get to see that she could have been redeemable, but she chose not to be. And then with Ozai, he's just an absolutely irredeemable racist piece of warmongering garbage.
Yeah, and I think Peter Pettigrew specifically had all the time in the world to not be a piece of shit.
Yeah. No,
so many opportunities.
Yeah, no, he had good, kind friends, and he chose to betray them out of pettiness and jealousy. Yeah. There's nothing about Peter Pettigrew that is redeemable. Same with Dolores Umbridge. She is
just a greedy, horrible person.
Yeah, she is absolutely the worst.
Like
Power hungry.
I think Dudley, right? Is that the cousin's
Yeah,
name?
yeah,
Ended up being a pretty cool character, right? Got it.
yeah,
Got it. Like he once again had the same opportunities and he took them, and the aunt and the uncle didn't. Right? They're just like,
yeah, yeah.
no,
Oh, the aunt did, I guess, in
kind
some
of.
of the backstory, but she chose not to take them.
Yeah. A swarmkeeper ranger rogue using hornets as poison darts to take down his targets. Okay. Swarmkeeper ranger rogue of bees.
Horneth's poison darts is pretty funny.
Do you throw them?
I'm imagining them with a blowgun, which makes me immediately think Gripply or
Yeah. I think we gotta do.
Grippy
They
now.
didn't give me a race, so I'm gonna go Gripply. I think that's a good call. We're talking about the wrong characters. Toph is the goat. Toph's great.
Toph is
didn't need a
amazing.
redemption arc. Toph is just great.
Yeah, except she's a terrible mother, which we learn about in Korra, and that makes a lot of sense. Toph is a static character. She does not change. She comes into the story knowing who she is, and uh, like she battles with insecurity about expressing that. At first, when we meet her character, because of course, because she's had to hide that all her life, and so now she has to adjust to being allowed to be a person. Um, but by and large, she does not change, and she's very secure with who she is. I like that they also like made that a reflection of earthbending.
Yeah, like the static
Yeah, yeah,
being well grounded in your, like Boomy is the same for his entire life.
yeah, yeah.
Stubborn.
So yeah, Toph didn't need anything. I have on occasion had nightmares about that point where in the airship in like the last couple episodes where she knocks down a door, falls into it, and it wraps around her, and then she spiders across the ceiling. Patently terrifying.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome in. So I really wanted to try to get a D&D game for the Patreon set up this year,
Mm-hmm.
but like I'm having a hard time finding an hour or two to do the viewer suggestions, so I don't think that's going to happen, which makes me sad. But I should try to figure out something to do for the Patreon, so that would be kind of interesting. Like, bare minimum, they're going to play my game first, which is totally fine. But, yeah. I don't know. Could try to do more commissions for them, I guess. Do more mini commissions. What would people like for the Patreon rewards? I was thinking about printing out some character, like, proto art for the game and sending that in the mail. Like a enemy list with all the little sketches. That could be fun.
I'm really glad I don't have to worry about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Figure it out.
I wish I had
You're
more time to do videos. I was like, I'm gonna write a script for a short, and it turned into a 3-page thing. I'm like, well, this is a video now, and now I just have to make the video. So we'll see how that goes. I had like 2 or 3 people talk to me about playing Don't Starve Together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Drew keep telling me to do that. I mean, I've played it. I've played it before, so like I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I think it is a good. It's an interesting take on 2D, 3D environments, which I think worked really well.
Yeah.
Um,
And what you're doing with the kind of paper doll sprites kind of mirrors what they do a little bit.
what is the thing on the left? It is a Swarmkeeper Ranger that throws bees at people. Throws wasps at people. They didn't give me a name or a race, so I'm making it a Gripply.
Which is Pathfinder's frog guys. Or used to be. It's Kripke now, right, Corvus?
Yep, trip key.
Kripke.
Yep.
Right, Kripke is an annoying character from I almost said Third Rock from the Sun, but that's not it. Big Bang Theory.
Ah.
Close enough.
No, Third Rock from the Sun is significantly better written. Alright, that's the warm-up. God, I've been freezing all morning and I just overheated. Oh.
You didn't recognize your own suggestion. Gotta use visual language. There's a handful of suggestions this week that are very non-descriptive, I guess is the way to put it. So we'll see how those go if they come up.
This is a long list.
It's a pretty big list this week, which is great.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not spending forever on my quote-unquote warm-up.
How's your day
Alright,
going?
I rolled 19. One very happy retired dragonborn.
Nice. My dad's talking about retiring. And he's like, I was like, so what are you going to do? He's like, I don't know. Probably just work half time. I was like, I guess that works.
Yeah, that's my dad's retirement. He works part-time for my brother.
Yep. The world is a-changing.
Well, it was. America's doing some weird
Oh, yeah.
backsliding. Anyway.
And not even by like 10, 15 years. It's like, what if we go back
By
to
like
the
100,
1920s?
200 years. Yeah.
It's like, don't know. No, thank you. I tried to make this guy's body really short, and I got rid of it. He ain't got no body.
Yep.
Yep.
It's okay. Frogs are literally 60% leg anyway.
Yeah, like a 40% head, and then like
Frogs,
it's like 40, 20, 50.
yeah, a frog's head is about this big, its body is about this big, its pelvis is about this big.
Frogs is diamonds with chicken legs on the end.
And then the legs.
Go wop wop wop.
Frog proportions are so wild. Alright. Retired Dragonborn. Little old man in a garden, I guess. Or little old dragon in a garden.
I probably would have gone like bartender or just fishing. Just hang out.
Ooh, fishing is good. gonna have to map this out.
Grandpa's still working for a small company he founded, which is now owned by my uncle. Nice. That's what we do too. How do you throw hornets? That's my question. You just like tell them to go and command them to do things, or do you actually throw them?
I think
What
you
you
load
do.
them into a blowgun.
We
Or
did talk
that.
about that. Yeah. What's that?
Or you
for?
just make a little nest of them and throw the nest, and it breaks and swarms.
That's true. Clump of bees. Get in the pipe. I don't know what happened to my blowgun, but they're fun. I mean,
Yeah, they
it's
are.
not like I'm out anything. I could just go buy a small pipe and I'd have it again. I want to give him like a nest, a hornet's nest somewhere. I feel like that's appropriate to do. Where would he stash it? On his back?
Have a big old wasp's nest on his back, like Gaara's gourd from Naruto.
Yep. Just full of bees. Genetic memory scares the hell out of me, and I don't like it.
Okay. Random.
It's not random. Like, hornets just know how to make hornet's nests.
Paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they have a genetic disposition to build something that is like that's encoded in their brain somewhere. Like, they don't plan it out. They're like, okay, the walls are gonna go here, like the way we build a house. It's just like they go, I have to build this, and it needs to be in this structure, or my brain will explode. And I hate it. I hate that. You throw them like darts. All right.
I don't know, maybe you're just thinking too hard about this.
Biology is weird, man.
Because I was like, a lot of animals just know how to build nests
Yeah.
of various types.
Beavers.
Yeah.
Beavers are funny. So that's what genetic memory is, though, right? Like, it's not actual past information. It's something that is genetically encoded in your biology. So, like with beavers are adverse to the sound of running water, and so they instinctively try to just block it with whatever they can find, i.e., trees. Trees,
And
sticks,
rocks and mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I would argue in the case of wasps and bees and other things like that, they probably are. It's probably a bit of both command and genetic memory
Well, no,
due
'cause
to the queen.
If you take eggs that haven't hatched and hatch them, like just hatch a queen, and she makes a colony, they'll still make a wasp nest, right? Like they're not gonna not know how to do it.
Though I would argue there still has to be a queen, so there is like that aspect of it.
Yeah, but you're
You only need a
you're
queen
not
to get them.
making any argument to me that doesn't or that excludes the genetic part of the memory.
Like whales, you can take a whale and a whale will teach other creatures. But if you took a baby whale, it wouldn't be able to teach those things. Like that's what I'm getting at. So like the queen, yeah, if you took a queen from one nest and put it to another, I would see your argument. But I'm saying like if you take a queen that is born and then let that queen make a colony,
Having
it'll
never
still
been
produce
with
one.
any other
Yeah.
wasps.
Same
Yeah.
thing with ants. Yeah, weird.
I guess for me, I don't see like how it's weird. It's how most life works.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely the more common thing, right?
Yeah.
Like no other creatures except humans, whales, and chimps. I think maybe birds. I think birds also too. Like
Crows.
crows.
Crows are now known to do it.
Yeah, crows will actually pass knowledge. What's the word? There's a word for it. Endemically? No. Mimetically? No. Non-biologically. Through information.
Yeah.
I think it is identically. Doesn't matter. I forgot that
Through
the
memory.
swashbuckler has a bunch of jumping-based feats. Yeah.
Do they?
I think the swashbuckler basically became... they basically like just have the mobile feet now. Which they didn't
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to have.
Well, they've always had the mobile feet.
No, I mean like in older editions, you'd have to take the mobile feat, and now that's just the swashbuckler just has it as their base class thing, right? Like they get to move, and then if they attack, they get to do other stuff, and they get to do performances and acrobatics and dodge rolls and stuff, which is cool. I like it. The feat became the swashbuckler because people liked it, which is dope.
So I definitely need a beer cooler, right?
Yeah.
Because, what I understanding of fishing is it's 10% about the fish and 40% about sitting in quiet and 20% about the fish and then another 20% about being in nature.
Depends on how hungry you are. But I guess that's true about like any retirement thing, right? Like
Yep.
if you're doing it to eat, then it's not a retirement. You're just you're just hunting for
Yep.
food. Keep watching these old, like, how they did it, or how it made it, or how this is still around, and it's always like, this is one of 3 people in the world that still know how to do this thing. It's like, shoot, should I go learn how to do that? Like,
Oh yeah.
No.
gotta keep that alive.
I've had that about a couple of Japanese crafts. I saw one
Yeah.
where they took paper thin sheets of lapis lazuli, put it on really high quality paper, put it through a machine that cut that paper into super thin strips and then wove it into silk thread to make a lapis lazuli plated kimono, basically.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, holy motherfucking shirt balls. It was crazy. It was crazy beautiful. And just absolutely crazy. It's a craft that I think was invented in between World War I and World War II. And one person in the entire world left that not only knows how to do it, but knows how to service the machines that do it.
Yeah, maybe not use lapis because it is poisonous to us.
Yeah, we can kind of synthetically make it now.
Because that is my only critique of like trying to hold on to like old traditions. Like I get for like his prosperity, like yes, but like for on any practical level, like we can do the same level, if not better,
Right.
stuff. So it's
kind
like
of the. I'm sorry.
yeah, I know it's not the nicest thing to say, but it's like I get why they're going out because like you no longer need those highly trained technicians and specialists to create such beautiful items.
Yeah.
So I know it's bad, but
Like I think there's a
it's not my greatest take.
Yeah, there's an argument for it though, because like the same thing with like lots of jewelries, like we can in lab grow like rubies and diamonds and stuff now.
Yeah,
pretty
opals
easily.
now.
Yeah, and
We can
opals.
very easily grow opal.
And so it's just like we can mass produce these things for like a fraction of the cost, but like part of that is that the fraction of the cost used to be because it was hard to get them, but also because it was inflated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So it's, that's really the problem. Like a lot of something I've noticed, specifically with cloth, right, is that like to buy pure wool bolts is really expensive.
yeah,
But if you get wool with like 20% polyester in it or 20% cotton in it, it's way cheaper, and I honestly prefer it. Like it doesn't fall apart. It's actually a better product, but it loses that mystique, you know.
Mm-hmm. That is like the thing. Like if you, because like with wool, like wool is very special because it's one of the first fibers we learned how to like create without killing an animal. And so like historically it's very important to humanity, but it's like we can make better stuff now. That doesn't itch us.
Yeah.
Well, only really bad quality wool.
Yeah,
itches.
only bad quality wool. There's.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna put
One
like.
second, sorry.
Yeah. I could totally push back on Rook and LED's God because, the I won't. It doesn't matter. I agree with you. I think Corvus about letting some industries die. I think
Like the diamond industry, I will gladly watch that thing burn.
Oh, absolutely.
You hear that, Belgians and Swiss?
And yeah. The watchmaking, like the horology kind of based stuff. I can totally see and respect that there isn't a market for that anymore. I like that it's moved into hobbyists.
Yeah.
I think it is going to survive better culturally there than it did with watch making and watch maintenance as an industry.
Yeah, like there are certain things I don't think will ever like die out, like you say, the watchmaking and stuff like that. And like even like bespoke shoemakers will never go out of style because there will always be people who would want a more customized shoe that fits them specifically than to getting one out of a store from Target or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
So like I don't think craftsmanship will ever die. It's just there are certain aspects that I'm like, I get why.
Yeah.
And there are certain crafts that probably should just go the way of the dodo.
Yeah.
Just because of like the materials that they use.
I find it totally
sustainable.
Ceramic is kind of a very, like, despite the fact that it is my specialty, it's one of those things that I think both I'm really proud of the way that it has grown and changed, and how science has allowed us to replicate stuff that was dangerous. Um, but also like it's also not something that most people need anymore, and I think it's a good thing that we've seriously moved away
Yeah.
from ceramic as being uh, a disposable product, because it absolutely was. What most people don't realize is with except for the British with their fine china, most ceramic was literally cheap as mud for most of recorded history, and it was disposable. If you had any ceramic, like storage vessel, cooking vessel, uh, any sort of anything practical that you actually used, if it lasted for more than a year, um, you were like that was absolutely unheard of. You were in um, you were in uncharted territory. The only things that survived long term were things that were purely decorative.
I rolled an 18, which is a ninja bandolier. Bandolier? That's not how you spell bandolier, is it? How do you spell bandolier?
What number was it? 14?
18.
18. Ninja. That is not how you spell bandolier.
So it's a ninja bandolier.
Bandolier. Uh, banjo player? I don't know.
Maybe? Oh yeah, kid?
Oh no.
He's having a rough morning and I don't know what's up.
If you're in the chat,
Ah.
clarify, what do you mean by this?
Google is only pulling up last names.
I might have to let the kid draw for a little bit. We'll see what happens. It might have been a bad idea because he might now scream if I take the pen away from him.
Ninja.
Yeah, kid. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. What if I give you this one? What if I give you this one? Oh
Ooh.
yeah. We're just in
It's
like
also
instant panic
capitalized?
mode today. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
I also don't know what they would mean by bandolier as a person.
Yeah.
Wonder if autocorrect screwed them over. Which I admit is always my first assumption, but I'm right about 60% of the time, so. Tripkey especially has the jump ricochet feat. My favorite feats for the Tripkey are the ones that have to do with the tongue. Having a super long frog tongue and getting to cast touch range spells with it, very fun.
That's something that the second edition one has?
Yeah, you can spec into it. First edition, the Gripply has it by default. It's just a racial thing. Is you have 5-foot reach blanket with your tongue.
Gross.
Long and sticky, which is how my brother made a grip key healer druid who cast healing spells by licking people from 10 feet away.
I love that you're now just combining Gripply and Tripkey together.
I am.
I don't know if you did intentionally or
That
not.
last time I did not.
Sorry.
You're good.
You'll be tickled more than
Swashbuckler, jumping finisher, and it's getting ridiculous. Yeah. It totally makes sense to me that because of the panache, the swashbuckler, it totally makes sense that they should get all sorts of those cool movement feats.
Yeah. I never bother with any of the finisher feats because I'm just like, I'm okay with confident finisher being my only finisher. Not saying they're bad or anything, it's just, for me, just having one option is fine.
So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna draw a goo cowboy.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why the kid is so spicy today. So we'll see what happens here. Trippy Quickly, there's the same thing that got changed due to SATA? I mean, WotC being stupid. This is just, we're trying to make a Gripply swashbuckler that jumps. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think 3.5 had like Gripply like ancestry race thing.
No, but
there were creatures in D&D.
Yeah.
They're even in 5e.
I can check the 5e monster book if you want.
Because I know that they had the grung, which are like the solidly like toad like.
Pathfinder made the dart frogs.
Did Pathfinder make them, or did they come from 3.5? I thought they came from 3.5.
I thought they came from Pathfinder. I don't know.
Yeah, so there's grungs and gripplies, two different things in D&D.
They are indeed.
Grungs are, and I think even in 3.5 they were always like kind of tree frog like. Yeah.
Kid,
Oh, they go back all the way to 1E.
Oh wow.
Yeah. This is a 3rd edition art of them.
Do I want to give this dragonborn ears?
Kid, I'm not going to pick up all these pens if you just keep throwing them on the floor. Figure it out.
Also, there's the Windweb trip key, which won't take fall damage. Oh yeah. Based on the gliding frogs.
I think we've talked about this before. Like, once you can survive your terminal velocity, like, you can fall from any height.
Yep.
So I would not be surprised if a lot of frogs are immune to fall damage.
I really feel like the tree frogs especially should be, because of how tiny they are.
Mm-hmm.
But their bones are also incredibly fragile and unguarded.
That's true. I mean, there's two ways to evolve for a tree frog, right? It's like you either evolve the ability to fall to the ground and survive, or you just evolve to not fall.
Yep.
Which I assume the latter is the case, because if you fall to the ground, you probably get eaten by something.
Yeah.
So surviving the fall maybe not as advantageous as just not falling to begin with.
My sister had some tree frogs growing up, and besides stinking because she didn't take care of their terrarium very well, they also They also were extremely stupid, and they did tumble quite a bit. So I have to assume it's probably some combination of the two.
Yeah.
Because I watched them jump at something and fall flat on their butts many times.
I mean, I've seen things like hamsters and wiener dogs just fling themselves off beds because they don't know any better. So it's not like
Yeah.
it's not like falling is a high brain activity.
True. But
In
they
their-
are
in their
designed
defense, though.
to jump. They are designed to jump and should be able to land.
Sure.
You know,
That's
they
all.
don't need my defense. Those hamsters and wiener dogs are probably also highly inbred and not due to their own fault.
Which is
Yeah,
smarter,
yeah.
a tree frog or a wiener dog?
Yep. Or the hamster, as you called out.
They're only they have only been allowed
Oh,
to retain the genetic memory
to
that
brain.
was useful to humans. Yeah, which in the case of wiener dogs means going freaking ballistic on rodents and badgers.
Yep.
Hamster's only survival strategy, like most rodents, is just eat lots, fuck now. Told myself I wasn't going to be lazy with hands today, but find myself really wanting to just
Be lazy with hands.
draw mittens and leave it. Hey Elliot, welcome in. Rook is stepped away because baby's fussy today. He's drawing a cowboy. Forget the prompt because it was indeterminate. And I'm drawing a very happy retired dragonborn. Who is gone fishing.
Gone fishing.
Don't bother him unless you're bringing him something stronger to drink than beer. I've got the angle on this hand real weird. See you later, No Name. Good night. Thanks for hanging out.
Did y'all talk about the Mathfinder thing?
No, we haven't had an opportunity yet.
Started watching another one they did on why spellcasters are not your cheerleaders.
I don't know, bards for sure are though.
It was meant to just I haven't finished it yet, but a lot of it seems to be just based off the fact that so many people are like, all casters need to be
Support?
Yeah.
Uh, that is very a weird stance to take, in my opinion, especially in Pathfinder, because I have seen some monsters in the bestiary where I'm like, this thing is specifically designed for a tank to aggro and then for a mage to deal damage because it had so
Yeah.
many resistances that basically only a mage was going to be able to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where Reddit gets some of these takes from.
Yeah, I don't know.
This kid is driving me crazy.
I'm sorry.
Only wants to be held today. That's it. Just held. What were you guys talking about?
The movie Corvus, or the YouTube video, the Pathfinder YouTube video
Oh.
Corvus shared with us.
Yeah. I started watching one where they were talking about how people need to stop saying that the casters are the party's cheerleader.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Apparently, it is a Reddit meta that mages should only be support.
Yep.
I was talking a little bit about that the other day, but I wasn't like. My take on it is, like, we were talking more of like when you only take one type of spell, and I'm like, no, wizards should bring lots of utility to a party.
Yeah.
So I could see that because like the utility spells are really powerful, but like. I don't know. Every character can be a support, and every character can be a DPS. You just have to build them a specific way.
Yeah.
So really, what
Yeah,
what
a
it
lot
means
of
to
it-
me is, I don't think every mage should be a support, but I think
Yeah.
people need to play like on a team. Like,
Yeah.
And that's something I think people are missing is when they talk about this stuff, they're talking purely in a almost, I don't want to say single player mentality, but like
Yeah, no, absolutely.
in a isolated, like, I can't do this. And it's like, you mean, well, that's your problem. You're in a,
you need help. Like you need physical more
Yeah.
bodies to make this character work.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
yeah. Because,
You know, the single player mentality really is the problem with min-maxers, with the min-maxer mentality, right? Because they're like, I want to be able to handle everything by myself.
well, too bad you can't.
I think the other side of that is also like because when people are sitting down to build their characters, right? They're not thinking about team comp. And
Yeah.
the other problem with that is when you kind of do, it's like, okay, I'm doing this thing, but I need someone to be like, and that goes to the DPS, right? It's just like
Yep.
we need someone to heal. You have to have a healer because otherwise I'll die because I haven't taken anything to protect myself. It's like awesome. So I think it can go both ways, but I think you're right. I think it's when you build a character in, there's a term for it.
A whiteboard.
Yeah, like whiteboard building a character, or just on paper. I guess that's the
Yeah.
term I'm looking for. On paper, this character is really weak. It's like, yeah, but in play, it really depends on how you use the character and how you work with your team to make it work. Which is why I think I think my bard is so much fun. Like he's not really supposed to output damage or do anything dramatically by himself. All he's there to do is to either take hits that other people might take, or just screw with the enemies in ways that will be advantageous to the party, right? Like that's really fun.
Yeah.
Like that's fun for me. So
And and in media res freak out the party.
yeah. Just be as weird as
Because,
possible.
like in the video I sent you to about spell attack rolls, that is a consistent thing that so many people want to hate on on Reddit. I've seen it a lot of times where it's just like, I really hate spell attack rolls, and they're useless and blah blah blah. It's like, and the guy was like, well, yeah, it's because they're situational spells. Like every spell ever is situational, except for maybe Fireball.
Right.
Yeah. I really enjoyed, like, my favorite part of his argument was that if you're going to play tactically with your party, then you can pick up enough buffs very easily to make spell attack rolls better, more consistently reliable damage output spells than the saving throw spells. And I was like, that
Because
is
like,
an excellent point, and I
mhm.
love it because I always am wanting people to play more tactically.
And
It's like,
I like the idea of using like trying to normalize aiding people in things, like especially
Yeah,
in
yeah.
combat. I've been trying to do that
oh,
more with Kevin when we've been playing. Of just like, oh, I'm playing a tanky character. I'm gonna aid you and give you more defense. Like that's it. I assume you're
mhm.
gonna get attacked. I'm gonna try to prevent that. Like, great. And some of the characters are built that way. Like the champion is built with that in mind, and it's like super awesome. It's super fun. So
Yeah. Because like, and that's something like I didn't realize you could like do for like attack like spell attack rolls is have someone aid you. I've always like saw of aid as purely like skill checks,
I think you can
and
use it that way. Have I been using it wrong? We should check that.
Yeah, well, let's look it up.
because like he was talking about like how you could ask like someone like, "Can you aid me?" and get a like a bonus, an aid bonus for your spell attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I didn't know about that. Because I recently found out that you can use Sure Strike, or as it used to be called, True Strike, for spell attack rolls. I'm just like, I didn't know this.
Yeah, like that was the benefit of like the Magus, right? Like that was something that was really
Mhm.
fun back in the day. It's just like a true strike. I get a plus whatever it is. I think it was plus 20 at the time.
Yeah.
Burn a
Now
spell
it's
slot
just
and I hit.
now it's just advantage.
Yeah. And in
Yeah,
5e, it was
so
like, plus 2. So that sucks.
yeah, yeah. So aid in combat is a reaction. So you can react as a reaction, which is very cool. When you use your aid action, attempt a skill check or attack roll of a type decided by the GM.
Nice,
The
okay.
typical DC is 15, but the GM might adjust this DC for particularly hard or easy tasks. They can add any relevant traits to your preparatory action or to your aid reaction depending on the situation, or even allow you to aid checks other than skill checks and attack rolls.
I've been
But
doing
yeah,
it. I've been doing it as an action on my turn. The reaction is even better because what
Yeah.
I've been
Because
doing
like
is
not every class has great reaction
yeah,
feats.
yeah,
so that's really
exactly.
cool. Because like what I've been doing for it is like, okay, I'm gonna try to distract them, right? So I'll roll a
Yeah,
performance,
yeah.
and if it's above the DC that the GM sits, then they get plus 2 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um,
I think you've been doing it right because the sentence before where I started says, you try to help your ally with the task. To use this reaction, you must first prepare to help.
okay.
So that is in
Got it.
combat. It is a prepared action.
So I haven't
then-
been using my reaction to do it. That's the thing I've been doing.
Yeah. So it takes your reaction in combat to trigger it. Yeah, but like for a spellcaster, you could attempt to aid in, I guess, a number of ways. I think there are rules for feint. I would allow a feint to be like you
Sleight of
communicate
hand
with
check.
your on your turn. You communicate to the spellcaster. I'm going to try to pin them down. I'm going to feint, or I'm going to try to force them to move in a specific way, and then you explain it like that to the GM, and then you feint. Yeah.
I remember at one point wanting to use the new null stuff that they have
Mm-hmm.
because they get a few things to like bonuses to aid and to being aided,
Yeah.
and there's like I think a gunslinger feat that allows you to like I think it's called like fake out, where you can like roll an aid for someone
That
to
sounds
like give them an
familiar.
AC bump.
Yeah. That sounds familiar.
Let's see here.
Ooze. Sure, kid.
Annoyed slightly by how same type bonuses don't stack. Yeah, Pathfinder has to do that, otherwise shit gets out of hand real fast.
Yeah. Like, there's a little frustration because I honestly think that each class should have its own type of stat, but I know why they don't do that. Like, there's a reason that morale bonuses don't stack, so that you don't have a party of clerics that at level 2 get plus 10 to everything, because everybody casts the same spell, right? Like, that makes sense.
Yeah. Everybody, quick, cast Bless.
Yeah. Or, like, I get 10 rings of plus 5 strength, and now I have 55 strength. And it's like, no, those are all enhancement bonuses. Those don't stack. It's like, okay, well, I'll get a ring and a helmet and a belt. And it's like, nope. Like, those don't stack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it is, like, kind of annoying, because it's like, oh, wait, I can't use this because it's a circumstance bonus, and I'm already getting a circumstance bonus from this, and they don't stack, and it's just like...
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of. I get that frustration.
We ran into that real hard with, like, jump ropes with Sorcerer. Sorcerer deals a lot of time magic.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all, like, pretty uniquely named things. And then my Bard has other weirdly named things, like Time Arrow and, like, all this other things. But then when we look, it's like, oh, this is all a hasted ability. Like, none of this stacks. And it's like, so these two characters are basically specialized to the point where they are the same character. Like, they just, if they're ever in the same party, none of their shit will work. Like, only one of them is functional. So,
unless you're using it on, like, 2 different people.
Well, most of it, it's AoE at this point, and that's the problem. So, like, that's where it's not that big of a deal when it's single target stuff. And in most cases, I honestly would allow it to be that way, like, separate for different people. But the rules are there to stop people from abusing it, because otherwise you could just, like, you can stack them so fast. It's so easy to just, like, I get +1 from moral boost, I get +1 from this, I get +1 from this, I get +1 from my armor, I have a magical thing. It's like, it's impossible. Like, it breaks the game really, really fast.
Hence why they got rid of a lot of those too, because there's now just, I think, circumstance, item. There's one that starts with an S. I can't remember it.
I'm not sure. Like, even clerics in Pathfinder 1 were still really good at it, because you have an enhancement bonus, you have armor bonus,
status bonus. That's what it was.
Morale, bless. There's a bless. I can't remember exactly what the word is there, but there's a bless and a desecration that aren't implicitly the same.
Sacred and profane.
Yeah, sacred and profane, and so you could do both of those. Normally, those are only on things that you have to have one or the other, but Kevin found a way. And it was like,
because I know a lot of the different deities will have, like, a ritual you could do daily, and throughout the whole day you have, like, a sacred or profane bonus to whatever niche ability that it gives you.
Promote party diversity. Yeah. And so I think it is better that each class should really have its own type. But once again, then you play somebody like, I took 1 point in everything, and now I can cast all these different things. It's like, yeah, cool. So I see why they nerfed the hell out of it, but at the same time, like, there are situations where I will allow it. I really do think, like, a bard performing and a cleric buff should stack. It should stack, because it's two separate, like, very separate things. Yeah, good.
Well,
You feel better you got a snack now? Even though you don't want your milk? Don't want it. Just don't want it.
Yeah, the Nulfi, or Kolu as they're called now, it's called Pack Hunter. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to checks to aid your allies, and your allies gain a +2 circumstance bonus to aid you. So
that's pretty cool. So that goes to, like, +4 or +3? Or is it normally 1 and it's going to 2?
Well, no. So this is +2 to the roll. To the roll.
Okay. Understood.
Rolling it. So you get a bump to it. And fake out just lets you, which was the thing I was thinking of. As long as you're wielding a loaded firearm or crossbow, you can essentially threaten to like shoot someone to give an aid bonus to an ally that's attacking. So it has to be an action that requires an attack roll. So
1800s era inspired Tabaxi's psionic. Wait, which one did you roll, Druid?
19 retired Dragonborn. Happy.
Kid.
so cranky. Absorb strength once per hour. You are adjacent to an enemy corpse that's been dead for no longer than a minute. Consume a piece of your enemy, absorbing their strength. You gain temporary hit points equal to the creature's level.
I was looking at the wildest spell on the primal spell list earlier. What
Kaiju
was
form?
it? What?
Kaiju form?
No, that one is pretty wild. That was a third level one.
Oh. See. Spells.
It was a healing spell.
You said it was third level?
I believe so. Wasn't Organ Sight, although that one is very niche.
Assume it's not positive attunement.
Nope. I love that spell though.
Soothing Blossoms?
Nope. It had to do with putting an ally's soul in a rock.
Seems a rather...
What are we talking about?
low level
Soulstone?
for the...
There was a weird spell that I saw today that I'd never seen before.
What's it called?
I'm not sure. I'm forgotten and I'm trying to find it now.
There's one that my bard has that I wanted to use last time, where you like shear part of the person's soul off and put it in a rock.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Okay, yeah. So like,
Do you remember what it's called?
I think it's called Soulstone or Soul Reservoir. I think it might be Soul Reservoir. But I like the flavor of it, and that's what last time when we were playing, and the thing was trying to like shear parts of our soul away. I was like, if I put someone's soul in this rock, will that protect them from it?
Do you remember what level it is?
It's 5 core. It's level 5 Corvus. I told you wrong, because I was looking at both 3rd and 5
I
level.
was like, that seems awfully low level for
Yeah, it's
spell
called.
like that.
It's called Soul Shelter Vessel.
Okay.
You connect the spirit of the target creature with the target object being a non-magical stone of 1 or 2 bulk. for 10 minutes, giving their spirit a durable vessel that protects and empowers their body. You create a pool of healing within the object, which starts out with 40 HP worth of healing per bulk of the object. When you cast the spell, the target creature regains 10 HP, which comes out of the object's pool. You can also spend a single action on your turn, which has the concentrate, good healing, necromancy, and positive traits, to repeat this transfer. When the pool is empty, the object breaks, and the spell ends if the object becomes broken and the targets are no longer within 500 feet of each other. I'm very, there's like, it feels like there's a lot of flavor in that spell, and I'm not sure what any of it actually does. Like,
Yeah.
does the person retain control of their body, or are they in the rock?
No. I think it basically, like, you're making a personalized healing potion for somebody, essentially. It's like, here you go. But it seems
Also,
like
the reason it's super flavorful is because it is from Adventure Pass.
Yeah, that makes sense.
but
I
it
mean,
does
I
very much
figured
seem
as
like
much.
you're taking part of their health pool, which is weird. But I don't think this was actually happening.
Yeah.
I just found about this one.
Soulstone suit.
Pretty funny. Called Sawtooth Terrain.
Mantis limbs appear, swiping it up. Ugh.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a related to the Red Mantis assassins, which they in this adventure path got a wizard school for them.
You stuck? What happened, kid?
Nice.
Help, I'm falling. Which they get Figment, Gouging Claw, which is everyone's favorite cantrip. I don't particularly know why. A lot, at least like for people who are doing like Gish builds, they love Gouging Claw and Needle Darts.
I do like needle darts. Let's see, gouging claw, you temporarily morph your limb into a claw appendage. You deal, or yeah. Make a melee spell attack roll against your target's AC. 2d6 slashing damage or 2d6 piercing damage, plus 2 persistent bleed damage.
And on critical success, this is actually kind of rare, you deal double damage and double bleed damage. A lot of times, persistent bleed isn't always doubled for certain abilities.
Right. You should find a prestige class that mixes fighting monk using animal style kung fu with shape shifting.
There is the
Good luck with that.
2E Wild Mimic, which allows you to mimic beast abilities. Like Rampage, Rend, Electric Gills, Electroshock ability.
Sounds like I need to make a blue mage.
It's like a melee blue mage. Very much in that vibe.
Alright, I'm rolling a new one.
Okay.
Whoop. 6. A skeleton salesman selling his bone collection. He is a collector of sorts.
Technomancer Prime. I should find a prestige class that mixes fighting monks using animal style kung fu with shape shifting. And you could just do that. That's what the monk is.
Yeah.
Pick a stance and have fun with it.
Yeah.
It's the shape shifting that's potentially difficult. Although if you, depending on the
Multi-class druid.
yeah. Or some heritages give you some shape shifting. Although that's usually very limited. The Beastkin
Yeah, but you can do that. Woo!
Is almost a
Katana.
shifter.
Mm-hmm.
Have I read that wrong? Tanaka. There we go, Sun Tanaka.
My brain's not ready for more. Okay.
Is it
I'm
18?
like, are you okay? You sound like you're struggling.
I am a little bit. Just I want a whole ass concept, and this is a much goofier drawing than I usually do.
What was it?
It's a skeleton who was a salesman selling their personal bone collection.
Ah.
That's definitely a little bit more goofier than you're used to.
You could just draw sands and leave it alone. I keep trying to like design the levels for the crab game. I think I'm gonna have to go back and actually like design the levels itself for each wave zone thing, because I want to do like easy mode, wet, medium, and hard as the base. And then have a bunch of challenges. But I keep running into the issue that level 1 is really boring. Like, I want to make the game just start off like in panic mode, but it's like, no, it's got to be like, it has to ease people in. Level 1 has to be super easy to beat, just so people can kind of get their feet. But my instinct is to just be like, a million guys. You don't win wave 1, too bad. I think that's just how it goes. It's not a Dark Souls game. It's okay to have some chill moments. And I'm struggling. You alright, kid? You okay? Yeah, just get back up. Yeah, you're fine.
Help, I'm falling, I can't get up.
I suppose the bleed damage is probably why, to take a step back, the bleed damage on Gouging Claws is probably why people like it. Damage over time is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite cantrip is still Electric Arc, because I like that it's a single cantrip that can target 2 creatures.
Tiki like the Raven Queen. I don't dislike her. I don't know anything about her.
Gods of death and winter.
She's also the god of death and winter.
Well, I mean, she is. Ain't also.
Memory, right?
I don't know about memory.
I had a cleric of the Raven Queen, and my understanding is that she was an elf mage who tried to ascend to godhood in order to stop a godly war from happening, and some of her supposed supporters took advantage of the ritual of her ascension and siphoned off power, which ultimately led to her being thrown down by both of the other gods. And she was kind of lost to the aether for a bit, but then pulled herself back together, having lost a lot of herself, and so now she chronicles memories,
Interesting.
collecting histories and broken people.
Shadowkai Queen. Oh.
Yeah. She was a 4th edition exclusive deity until they got Pseudo brought her into 5th edition.
Mm-hmm.
Did Mercer keep her for
Yeah, that's
Okay.
kind of the big reason why they brought her back in 5th edition, was due to Critical Role.
Yeah.
But is
yeah.
she in the
'Cause-
is she in the Critical Role books?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's the Matron of Ravens.
Oh, okay. They just renamed her to Matron of Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mercer.
because she,
Mercer made her legally distinct.
because 4th edition, the gods in 4th edition are not like free use.
Yeah.
So he had to go in when they were first started doing books, had to go in and change their names. I was like, only like a few of them, like, I think it's Tiamat, Modius, Bane, they're all kind of free use. But others are like, no. Like the Wild Mother, so Melora in 4th edition, she isn't free use. Ioun.
Cord?
Hmm?
Cord? The...
He was in Greyhawk, I think.
Oh.
So he was in 3.5 in 3rd edition. So was Pelor, the Dawnfather. So yeah, basically, almost all of them were free use, except for the Raven Queen, Melora, and Ioun. The rest of them were just like, yeah, I think Druid is supposed to be doing a merchant, so it looks like Druid is still struggling.
I've figured out what I'm gonna do.
Oh. I just can't see you drawing, so.
I haven't yet.
Oh.
I haven't started yet. I've been
Fair.
googling shit.
No pressure.
Doodle for content. Everything is content, Druid.
And I can't show your chat my browser history.
Oh, I thought you said you were doodling.
Oh.
Googling.
No, googling. Yeah.
Oh my kid. What do you got?
Knife!
No.
Okay. What the hell is that?
Uh-oh.
Let me see it. Oh, it's a pencil? Here you go. Come back. I'm gonna have to have a conversation about that. It was an
What
unsharpened
did he-
pencil with a pin stuck in the eraser. I don't know
Ah.
why that exists, but I'm sure somebody was doing something with it. this pin? Right here, I guess? That'll work. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my goodness. Yawa. It is almost 2 o'clock. Okay, I think this will probably be my last one because I'm running out of steam.
Yeah. I probably don't have one more in me either. So that's fine with me.
What are you doing, kid? The theme came from Warrior Princess and Picking Bone comes from quite a notorious piano player. Actually trying to sell bones. I thought he was selling his own bones. In some sort of like weird yeah, I don't know what you would call that. Like, he just pulls out his own rib and he's like, I was like, look at this. Like, why would I want that? Don't understand.
I figured he was just the opposite to the kobold meme. You sell me your bones for this?
You give me your bones. No, I like my bones. could a fey creature obtain your soul / servitude by giving you a compliment? I guess that would involve them giving it for free, and they wouldn't do that. But if you took it, you technically took their hospitality. Don't know if that would count, though. This is the problem, and this is why otherworldly lawyers exist.
Yep.
It all gets really, really complicated when physical and metaphysical things stop having any difference.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a thing that totally happens when you deal with fae
Why
and
you
demons.
go out of your way and find you a devil lawyer to get you out of it.
Dungeon to dungeon skeletal repair salesman, yeah. Give me
And
bone
or a
bleach.
Archon.
Bone bleach, bone black. Bone meal, I got it all.
You have a moment to talk about your golem's extended warranty.
Those guys used to call me all the time. They're like, hey, your truck's warranty is expired. I'm like, yeah, 30 years ago, and they just hang up on me. Stop calling back. I was like, know what kind of car I have before you start cold calling me, assholes.
If you want to steal my money, you could at least bother to do the minimal research. God, criminals nowadays just have no work ethic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. What are you doing, kid? Hey. What time is it? Yeah. Oh.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, jeez.
Precious, poor sleepy child.
Man, taking a nap will totally screw up my sleep schedule, but I want to take a nap so bad right now.
I don't know how people take naps.
I don't usually. Usually if I need a nap during the day, it means something's gone wrong with my diet or my health.
So which is it this time?
I don't know. Probably my diet.
You had that pizza when you shouldn't have.
No, but I did have garlic cheese toast 2 days ago. It was so tasty. I knew it would hurt, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Now that I've got to draw a skeletal hand, I have a hard enough time with hands with the flesh on. This is the thing I'm going to resent you for, Slag. I guess I can still hide most of the finger bones.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is it. This kid won't stop yelling, so I'm gonna go read him a book and see if he'll calm down and finally take some milk.
All right. We can end the stream. I'm just about done.
You just doodling it up? Okay.
Yeah,
We'll put
yeah. I'm
these
just.
in the
We
Discord.
don't have to wait around for me to figure out this typeface.
I could mute it myself and just let you guys go for a little bit. It's up to you.
Nah, I'm also out of steam, and it really is just the writing on this.
Sure.
And then I'm done.
Alexander, welcome in. We're just about to jump out here because I got a cranky boy. Yeah, cranky boy. Won't stop screaming. Oh, it's a big smile. Big smile. You calming down? No? Nah. He'll calm down, and then as soon as I sit back up and try to draw again, he's gonna lose his shit.
No. Your time is mine, Father.
Mine. Pay attention to me and only me. So, that's how it is, man. Yeah. Let's see if we can find somebody to raid on Twitch. We haven't done that in a while. Raid. Who's around? Who's around? Nobody I know. Interesting. Same category. Who else is drawing stuff? Nobody, apparently. I don't believe you. But, a whole bunch of people playing D&D. I might be in the wrong channel. We'll figure that out next time. Thanks for hanging out today, everybody. Yeah, we'll be back on Friday. Hopefully, we'll have a little more time, a little less cranky baby, and we'll draw some more stuff. We have a pretty big list, so I'm hoping I can bust out a bunch of them on Friday. But if not, we'll put the ones we finish in the Discord, and then, yeah, come check us out. I will try to be working on a video here today and tomorrow. Maybe we'll get that out. That'd be pretty neat. If not, check out some of the old videos, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. We'll catch everybody later. Bye.
Bye.
Druid Corvus, thanks for hanging out with me today.